You guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'll try not to burst into tears while making this video. How did I not get this distinction when I'm on the bus? When I just sit, I remember how much effort I put in and why I didn't get this distinction. It really tore me apart. So I lost all hope that I was going to get this PhD. But guess what, you guys? I didn't let it stop me. I went to find a PhD. I started looking for PhD. For you guys that are just stumbling into this video, my name is Jemima Chukwu, and on this video I'm basically going to be sharing my story how I got this fully funded PhD studentship for 4 years at the University of Manchester under the BBSRC, the Biotechnology and Biological Sciences Research Council of the UK, United Kingdom. How I got this funding, let me say it was God. I know some of you are tired of hearing it's God. Yeah, I put in effort, but it was really God that crowned all the efforts. I had this plan that I was going to do a PhD. How I was going to do it, I didn't know, but I know I wanted to do a PhD. And I was so passionate and intentional about this. And I started making some steps. I said in my BSc, I published my first article after my BSc. I kept on doing research, even though it wasn't published in all this high scholar journal like Scopus journal and all of that. I was still happy doing research. And when I got to my master's, I also did a laboratory based research because I know I wanted to do a PhD for my master's. I applied to Shivni, I applied to Commonwealth, I applied to developing solution. I was supposed to apply to developing solution. I had written my application letter. I wrote everything for the essays, all the questions, and it was time for me to apply. And then they stopped to offer my course at the University of Nottingham. In Nigeria, I knew the map of Nottingham. Like, I crammed it in my head. I knew every detail. I spoke to lots of people. God bless Dr. Walid. God bless Titi for all those phone calls. I connected with lots of people on LinkedIn. God bless Babalola and a lot of people that helped me with my Commonwealth application. God bless Annette that I met for the first time at Birmingham. If you've not watched that video, I'm going to show you that video here. God bless these people. God bless Damilola for going through all my essays. God bless lots of people I can't remember from LinkedIn that went through all of this. While I didn't get the funding, I was really down. I cried my ass out then for my master's. I was like, before then, I had a dream that I didn't see my name in the list of people. But later on, when I was working, I saw my name in some place. I didn't understand what the dream meant. I didn't know that I was not going to get all those funding, but I was still going to come to the UK. So long and short, how my parents did it for me to come to the UK. God bless my mom, God bless my dad, God bless them so much. God bless my siblings, and God bless all those that contributed. God bless Mrs. Osaon, now she's married. God bless her for motivating me then in Edo University. I don't want this to be a thank you message yet, but I'm just like trying to tell you guys how I got this PhD. And then when I came to the UK, my goal was I needed to get a distinction because my parents were paying £36,000. What I was working wasn't enough because they said you can work to pay your school fees. It's not true. So I needed to support my parents to pay the huge amount. That was £36,000 was my school fees. Yes, I got a £5,000 funding, so it was £27,000 I had to pay. Imagine that in Naira. That was loads of money, but God made it possible. And now I'm still paying back a bit of them. And yeah, and that's how I finished my master's. And all my efforts, I thought I was going to get a distinction and I'm going to come here, spread the good news, getting my dream PhD. I did all my best. I attended all the courses with all the jobs I was doing, thinking about how to pay my school fees, thinking about everything, still thinking about how to do all the stuffs, and letting not be that I just came here to study. I even wanted to go into politics in school at Dundee, University of Dundee. I couldn't because I needed the distinction. My triangle was house, library. It wasn't even a triangle, it was a square. House, library, church, work, house, library, church, work. I even had a locker in the library that like had my belongings because the library was a 24/7 access. So I had the library there where I keep my stuff. So sometimes I can sleep over in the library. I hardly sleep on my bed because when I finish from work, if I go home, I'm going to sleep off. I'm not going to do my assignments. I'm not going to submit my work and stuff like that. I really suffered, I won't lie. I chased buses. I tried to meet in time. I tried to do a lot of things. I was cleaning. I was doing care. I did loads of things, you guys. But when we come to social media, we just post pictures. Everybody think we're all right, but we're not. We're going through a lot. But as God will have it, I had the 78 in my thesis. But assuming I had an 80A, I would have had the distinction. So I was just fall off of distinction with just it was just so little. Because the Scottish government, the Scottish university distinction is 80 and not 70. It was really terrible. You guys, I don't even want to think about it. Even my graduation, I wasn't even happy because I was like, what? It was this distinction that I needed. So why even attend the graduation? And the moment I saw everybody's, like, when I saw the graduation list and I saw my name with a merit, it pissed me off the more. Till today, I don't even have the graduation booklet because I wasn't even interested in whatever grade it was. Okay, you guys, let's fast forward. And then I didn't let it stop me. I went to find a PhD. I started looking for PhD opportunities related to embryology. I started as early as I could. I started doing my master's then because I was so hopeful that I was going to get this distinction. So I started like then. I didn't know that it would be good to start early. I was only starting because I was so sure I was going to get the distinction because I've gotten all A's so far and stuff like that. They were so my search for. I sent email casually to the supervisor. The supervisor didn't respond to me. I just moved on. I just let it slide. Then later on, I created a plan, a PhD plan, where I created this PhD plan where I was taking out the people I'm going to contact, whether I've chatted them, whether I've stalked them on Twitter, whether I've sent them an email, whether I've shown my response. I had this plan where I was sticking my progress so far. I still didn't know it was helpful. And I said, okay, let me check for another PhD again. I didn't know that one of the PhD I searched for then, that it was still available. I called universities for some supervisors that they said they had, but their emails were not responding. So it's about the university where they either told me this person is an adjunct professor or this person is not no longer in the university, stuff like that. Like it was, you guys, like I did a lot of call, I did a lot of research, I did a lot of things that I didn't know that would be useful. And then when this PhD that I did not know I've seen before, when I drew more to it, it was closing in 1 week time. I said, God, 1 week, how do I go? How do I send this supervisor an email? When will the person respond to me? When do I start creating a personal statement? Because personal statement need to align to the project itself. You cannot just take your old personal statement and use it for a now application. So my God, I looked for his email. It wasn't in the advert. I had to look for his old paper, like a recent paper through ResearchGate or Google Scholar. I looked for his name, University of Manchester. I checked the university's website first. His email was not there. I was like, oh my God, what do I do? I had to go to his paper and I got his email from the section where they put correspondence address. So I got his email from there and sent him this cold email. Cold email is just like saying, this is you, you're interested in this project. This is what I'm interested in the project. How can I end up with asking a question and stuff like that? So this was what I put in the cold email and I sent to him. You guys, the next morning, this supervisor responded to me. If I tell you it was a miracle. He responded to me the next morning. And when he responded to me, it was like, he's really interested in me. I said, oh my God. Interested in me, I mean, is professionally, please. He's really interested. Like, I attached my CV and then he organized the Zoom meeting. You guys, the application is ending in the next 5 days. And then he organized the meeting and he told me what he found out in my CV, how okay it is, that it's very impressive, that he sees me a fit for this PhD, and he motivated me the more. I spoke to Damilola. I told Damilola that, see, because Damilola is also a recipient of this BBSRC. His own is the ESRC. I did a video on my channel on how Damilola got this PhD funding, how he got funded for BSc, MSc, PhD. It was this kind of funding. If you've not watched the video, go up there and watch it. Yeah. So then he told me that he's really impressed. So I told Damilola that this is what the man said. Damilola said, if this man said so, Jemima, you have gotten this PhD. I still did not understand the whole academic stuff. I still kept on. So he now told me that I should send him a personal statement because I need a personal statement to apply for the PhD. And then no, that was not what happened. The first thing was he organized a meeting for him to tell me about the PhD, because in my email I said I wanted to know about some things. This is why I say in your code email, make sure you leave it with a question so that supervisor will get back to you, and then you can now explore more, explain more about yourself to the supervisor. So he now told me about the project, what the project was about. Guys, my head was not even understanding. I had to record what he was saying because I didn't even understand everything he was saying. That was when I even mentioned that I read his previous paper, because I read the recent paper where I got the correspondence email, and I saw that the methodology kind of relates to the one he wants to use now for this study. So I mentioned some of those, and then he told me that he remembers me, that I sent him an inquiry for this PhD, but he didn't respond because the email was just so casual, that he saw the email through the Find a PhD website, because Find a PhD can let you leave a message for the supervisor. Is it Find a PhD or something? I'll put the website where I did that chat. So he said he got the message from the website, but he really did not see it as it was just so short and not casual. But when he now saw this one, he now picked up interest. So I now had to go back to my drawing board and saw that I actually sent a response to the University of Manchester for this PhD. I was like, oh my God, this is God preparing a table before me. And then the supervisor now said, this is what the PhD is about, this is where I can come in. But the issue now is I do not have a lot of computational analysis skills, and they will need it for this PhD. And he asked me one question. He said, Mama, are you willing to learn computational analysis? I had to go back to the drawing board. I spoke to Damilola. It's good to have a mentee, please. If you don't have one, please have one. So, is it mentee? It's good to have a mentor. If you don't have one, please go and have one. So I spoke to Damilola and said, Damilola, are you sure I can learn computational analysis? He said, Jemima, you can learn anything if you are dedicated to it. So I went back to the supervisor. I told the supervisor that I'm willing to learn. He says that is all he needs from me, that if I'm willing to learn, he's willing to guide me. So he told me to go and write my personal statement and bring it for him to proofread. When I finished writing my personal statement, I didn't sleep throughout that night. I wrote the personal statement. Now we have 4 days left, because we did the meeting in one day. We have 4 days left. So I wrote the personal statement all over the night and everything. I gave it to him. Not give it to him. We organized another Zoom meeting. He sent me a Zoom link. I joined. I shared my personal statement, and he made some corrections and say I should try to make the personal statement catchy in the first sentence, that I should come in with the underrepresentation of women in STEM. I say, oh my God, this man doing this for me, he really wants me in. So I got the sense that I need to put in every of my best. I wasn't sleeping for those 4 days, you guys. I was back to back making this application worth it. So I had to redo it again, did what he said I should do, and I went through, we organized another meeting again, and then he went through it and said, okay, this is good to go. It was now remaining 3 days, you guys. This was the next day, it was remaining 3 days. And then he sent me another email again. I thought, yeah, we had settled that. He sent me another email again that he wants to understand why in my CV I have overall of 78% and my grade is merit. I want to understand why. So I now explained to him that in Scotland, their classification is different. He now told me to pause, that he understands that he has had an applicant before that had similar situations. So what he wants me to do is go and take off the merit and put England equivalent distinction and put my overall grade. When he said that, I was like, oh my God. You see why it's good to communicate with your supervisor before you apply for the application or the PhD. If I had not spoken with him, I would have not known that this is what I can do. So he helped me, because he said a lot of people would have distinction that are also applying for this PhD. So me, that I might not match up with these people even when I have a good CV and a good research background and a good scientific background. So I need to go and change that. You guys, behold, I changed that. And when I changed that, I showed him again the CV, and he said, okay. He went through it again. it was good to go. This is the second day now. Remaining 2 days, he went through it. I mean, I do not like submitting something on the day itself because the system got my lockdown. I was targeting to submit a day before the deadline. So then, after everything, all the corrections from him, the personal statement and everything, I started the application. And when I started the application, the system got hooked again. It hooked, like I couldn't process with uploading any supporting document. I said, the devil is a liar. I created another application. I deleted the application, created another one, uploaded all my documents. I can't remember the exact time. I'll check or show you on my screen. On my screen, I got a notification that I have been shortlisted for an interview. Oh my God, another problem. How do I go about the interview? I had to tell Damlola, see you, they've shortlisted me for interview. Damlola was like, Jemima, if you've been shortlisted for an interview, you've gotten this PhD. I said, no, this is not what I want at this time. I do not want hyping. Please tell me how I need to do this. Share me a sample of your slide and everything. He said it would differ. I started chatting people on LinkedIn, some people that were recipients of the BBSRC funding, like how did your interview go? God bless Samiria, I got her from LinkedIn. So I like kind of asked them, how did it go? How was the interview? Like I read the interview question very well, like what they need for me to present in my slides. So they said I'm going to present a PowerPoint for 10 minutes. It mustn't be a PowerPoint, but I can say it orally. But you guys, I'm sure verbally and with presentation will carry more mark. And they said it's going to be independent people that do not understand the research. So I'm going to talk about my research in layman terms. I say, bam, bam, how? I don't even understand it very well. And the interview was just in, I think it was 4 days, like it was a very short notice. I started reading papers I read within how many days. I was reading to understand, like it was difficult. I even had issues with people that were helping me to even understand the concept. Every time I speak to my supervisor, he was always there, even on a Saturday and Sunday, because the interview was on a Monday, and I think I got the message on Thursday. So he was available on Saturday and Sunday to guide me on the PowerPoint. I created the PowerPoint from the scratch, and he took over my screen, because there's a way somebody can take over your screen and do some amendment. He took over my screen, helped me redesign a particular part. My supervisor was there. He created a timer for me to present to him. It was more than 10 minutes. He told me to go again to make sure I achieve 10 minutes. And he told me not to over prepare. I should expect to be okay. I should just be firm. I should just feel all right. I should be relaxed. Like, my supervisor was so much of a motivation, you guys. Even knowing that he's so supportive, I know that my PhD experience is going to be the best so far. God bless my supervisor. In just this short time, like, did this man not have what he was doing? He had something he was doing, but it was God's grace, you guys. And then it was the day of the interview. I wanted to record the interview, but I was two things that I forgot to record. The main interview, but I actually recorded a rehearsal. If you want the rehearsal, just tell me on the description below. So I recorded my final rehearsal before the day itself. And then the examiners now asked me questions. They were asking, explain your research in layman terms. Explain how would you do this. They asked me some questions and I answered the questions. They asked me if they gave me £100,000, what will I do with the money? That was the best question for me. I was like, £100,000, that's a lot. So easy. I made the answer so like casual, like, if it's this is what I'll do. This is what, like, I made it so casual. And yeah, you guys, I might do another video about interview questions. If you want to know that, just let me know in the comment section. But because this video might be a long one, I might just fast forward to after the interview. I got an email that I've been shortlisted for the funding. I have been successful. I can't really remember. I'm going to show you on my email. Like, I was like, whoa. I am now a PhD recipient of a 4 years funding. Oh my God, it's got no good. That was how my supervisor trained me, grilled me for this interview, and I did all my best. I made sure I did not disappoint him. I even forgot to mention the part that he did a mock interview with me before he even nominated me. Yes, this was what happened on the 3rd day. So the 3rd day, my supervisor held a meeting with the co-supervisors for them to also make an input with whether they wanted me. So he told me to present any of my paper that I've published before. No, not published, any of my research I've done before. So I did a paper presentation to this panel of the co-supervisors, and they were like, whoa, that is very impressive. And I think that informed, they even asked me questions. I was not expecting questions. I thought these people were going to just know about the research. They asked me questions about, it was a Pamaris Longo study I presented. It's been long. I even forgot how they defined this. So I had to just use my head. I even did not know that one of the co-supervisors had a good background of anatomy. Hey God. It was after I finished answering the questions I now talked about it. So these people loved me at that point. And that was when the supervisor now nominated me or called me after to say, why is this on my CV? Yes, that was it. Why is this on my CV that I have a 78 and I have a merit? That was what led to that. I think they now made their decision that they are going to nominate me. And you guys, that's how I got the funding. Grace found me. Grace saved me. Grace made me who I am. Grace redeemed me. Grace forsake me. Grace made me who I am. I'm really so grateful to God. I'm really so grateful to everyone that contributed in this process. If you watch it where I said the story, I didn't talk about the story for my PhD itself. That's to tell you that I've put in a lot of hard work before, and God just decided to crown my efforts. And I'm also thankful to all those that helped me for all those, my Shivni, my Commonwealth application, those that stood in as my referee, Izu, Professor Walper, and loads of them that helped me so far. And even when it didn't click, they didn't give up on me. God bless Wonsu on LinkedIn that even supported me when I came to the UK financially. Like, it's really been so great. Like, I'm grateful to all of you, and thank you for making my progress and my journey a success. Thank you guys too for watching this video, and I promise to give back this knowledge on how I got here and how I'm going further on my YouTube channel. So I'm officially welcoming you to the series of my PhD journey. Okay, you guys, that ends this video. I tried my best not to cry, right? Yeah, you guys, so that ends this video. Make sure you subscribe to this video. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, like this video, and share this video already. Yeah, bye.